Welcome to the Construction Defects Podcast, a show dedicated to helping home builders navigate the tricky and expensive world of construction defect suits. So with me is John Bordenero with Moisture Intrusion Solutions, an envelope consulting firm who helps builders and the associated trades in these types of problems. So when you talk about performance of a home, for those of us not in the building industry directly, it could be misunderstood as Broadway play like Oklahoma. What do you mean by performance? Let's get into the nitty gritty here. When a home doesn't perform, what does that mean?
Let's talk a little bit about the stucco tsunami. They would refer to it in parts of the country where stucco as an exterior cladding was very popular. But there are specific ways that stucco needs to be installed correctly so that it performs correctly. 100 years ago, back in the day, when we didn't do cavity installation, basically the heat from the house would drive through the stucco and dry it. And that was great. So it wasn't as critical that the stucco be installed exactly correctly. Well, now with more insulation in the walls, the stucco has to be able to dry. So it needs to be installed correctly. There are very detailed code specifications on the weather barriers, the sacrificial barriers, how you install the lath, how you install the scratch coats, how you install the finish coats, and what kind of paints that you should be using or finishes you should use on top of the stucco. If you don't follow those, whether it's improper control joints, improper weeps, improper any of those steps, the stucco can fail. And in some climates, it becomes, I don't want to use the word pandemic or endemic, but in some climate, the stucco failures are just everywhere. It's been a big concern I live in the Delaware Valley, and it's a huge concern around us, but anywhere stucco comes, that has become a big litigation issue. There are stucco done well is a fantastic exterior cladding. Stucco done poorly is not, but brick done poorly is not either. So again, it gets down to the installation, the execution of the steps done in the proper order. When you do it right, works great.
So when you look at discovery in a situation where you have an upset homeowner or an upset series of homeowners, say in a development, tell me about, understanding destructive testing. What's involved in that? Why does destructive testing pose such a headache for builders and contractors when it comes to determining performance or proper application?
Okay. So, destructive testing is by its nature destructive. So when we do that, and our company does perform those tests, that it's incumbent upon us to actually remove part of the exterior cladding. So during our test events, we will make sure that there are professionals on hand to repair those holes that we're going to make in the exterior cladding. So that's part of the issue. And then, it's like every restoration contractor is going to tell you, we don't really know what we're going to find until we start looking for it. So we open up the wall. We can do a lot with a non-destructive testing using infrared technology, using moisture probes so that it doesn't make a big hole in the wall. But if you follow the proper ASTM methodologies, eventually you do have to find the source of the problem. You do have to open up walls and look. You need to have somebody there to close the walls up after you're done, but it is time consuming. It is not inexpensive to do, and you need to have a trained, certified technician on hand doing that forensic work.
One of the things in the insurance industry we're always frustrated with are folks that don't care about putting it back, and then the neighbors all wander around while it's happening or after it's been left open, trying to figure out if they've got to do it too. It is a very nasty thing involving construction defect.
Well, folks, that concludes this segment of what is a construction defect, and if you're in a construction defect state. Hey, look for some more education from the Builder's Books at NAHB and their Insurance Risk Management section. It's coming up. You don't want to miss it.